Hello YouTube, and welcome to the next episode of a review of something random. In this episode we're going to be doing a much needed review on a new camera that I just received, or just purchased, which is the Coleman HD2. Now this camera, before I bought it, I was unable to find any reviews for it on the internet whatsoever. Okay, this thing, there were reviews of the previous version, which was the Trek HD, but I could not find any reviews of the Trek HD2. And so I was taking a risk not knowing what I was getting into with this camera. So I now feel obligated to post a review of this camera. I'm also going to be posting a write-up review on Amazon's website, just so people will know what they're getting into if they're about to drop $100 to $200 on this camera. Bought a kit with this camera, lots of accessories. We'll go over the specs of this camera itself first, then we'll go into all of the accessories that came with it. Then I'll run the comparison video between it and the Logitech webcam that's currently recording. And then I'll give you my final thoughts and overall impressions of this camera. So let's get started. All right, now the Trek HD2 is supposed to be able to record in both 1080 at 30 frames per second, 720 at 60 frames per second, 720 at 30 frames per second, and some lower resolutions. I forgot to look at which ones they were. It's also water submersible up to 10 feet for up to 1 hour. I doubt I'm going to be using that feature, as I don't do any underwater stuff. So that's a set aside. It will hold up to 32 gigabytes of memory. And it does come with a lithium-ion battery. It sports both an HDMI port and a USB port on the back behind this little door. It comes with an HDMI cable as well as a USB to USB and USB to AVI cable. It also has a light right about there. LED, very bright. Give you an idea. It does use up a lot of battery, but I don't really have much use for it. The camera does turn on and off with opening the side. There's a power button on the side, right there. Big button is power button. Then you've got your playback mode. What is that? Menu, mode, and display. You can set your white balance in the menu, or back here on, let's see if this will focus. On this side, there's a white balance button. You can just cycle through on that. You can change the exposure value, taking it lower or higher, or you can turn on your light. Over here we have the record button, and then we have the diving mode button. The green button down here, you hit it before you start going underwater, and all is well. Across the top we have the microphone as well as the speaker. I'll talk more about that microphone later. And your zoom buttons. As I said, on the back you've got your HDMI and USB. In the bottom you have your battery and your SD slot for your card. There's not a lot to say about the camera. It doesn't have any like crazy features to it. So let's go ahead and just get into the other accessories that it came with, and then we'll get into a comparison so you guys can see what kind of quality video that this puts out. Now, as I said, this kit that I bought came with a lot of accessories, a lot of bits and pieces to kind of help you along. So up here we've got a cleaning kit. It's got a little airbrush in there, lens cloth packet, a soft cloth, and a cleaning spray, plus some Q-tips. All right. Then it comes with its own software, although I haven't used it yet. It's got some basic video editing according to its manual there. It's got some basic video editing and like scrapbook together pictures, so on and so forth. Something I didn't mention in the specs of this camera is that you can take 16 megapixel stills. You cannot do it while you are recording video, however. And we've got the camera's manual there. We've got some LCD screen protectors. They're full size, but they are gridded so that you can cut them to the proper size. It also comes with basically a piece of cardboard to squeegee them on to your screen with. Then it came with this camera lighting kit. 2 AA batteries will power this thing. Lots of LEDs. It comes with this bracket. This does detach from the bracket. The bracket will attach to your tripod, or to your tripod mount, and then that screw also has a threaded female end to attach to your tripod, so you can have everything mounted together in one. There's the bag for the larger tripod, which is here. It's a Vivitar tripod. It's very lightweight, aluminum, goes up to 50 inches. Now the thing about this tripod is it's a very lightweight aluminum and plastic tripod. It does extend up to 50 inches. It's got rubber on the bottom of the feet. You can pan, you can tilt, you can pan. It does have a little bubble level right there. I'm just seeing this light. It's got a little bubble level there. You can also angle it off. I'm gonna say that this tripod does not feel very durable. I did extend it all the way out and it felt fairly stable, but it doesn't feel terribly durable. That's not going to be a real issue for me as far as stability goes. I'm probably not going to be using this tripod much for the camera. I will probably mount my chronograph to it for doing some reloading testing and the like, but other than that, it's probably not going to get used much for video work. I might clip on some lighting to it when I get to that next upgrade. Use that as my lighting mount or something along those lines. Now it did come with, this kit did come with a tripod. And you can kind of see him down here. This is a little 4-inch tripod, big rubber feet, and it's flexible. So you can angle or cock this thing any way that you like. And this has that linked metal for the legs. So you can bend it into all sorts of crazy shapes and the like. This feels sturdy. This actually has some heft to it for its size, and tends to work out pretty well. You know, anything flexible like this is going to be a little bit more difficult to level out, but it suits its purposes. Also, I have been using the large tripod kind of as a selfie stick for the video camera when I started, when I did a couple of the vlogs. I'll probably use it for that as well, because it does work out well with that purpose in mind. This kit also came with this backpack. Okay, this backpack is awesome. It's tiny, as you saw there. It's got rubber feet on the bottom, and it's got a fairly rigid bottom, so you can stand this thing up. This backpack will hold everything you see on this table, with the exception of the large tripod, and I obviously don't put that software CD in here, but everything else that's sitting up here can go into that backpack. I don't carry around the HDMI cable or the USB cable, but I do carry everything else, and it works out quite well. Inside the backpack, you got a large, hard to do one-handed, there we go. You got a large front opening here, right? You kind of got a mesh zippered area right there. You got a little pocket here, no problems. Then this flap has a strap, a Velcro strap that'll hold it up. You got another pocket here that's non-sealed, and then on the inside you have some padding and an elastic strap right here. I tend to put the camera right here in the center, throw the light kit off to this side, and the cleaning kit off to that side, and it works out quite well. The backpack's got a very, very long strap to it, and it is zippered down the middle, so you can unzip this and use it like a regular backpack with two straps, or what I've been doing is just throwing it over, leaving it sealed, throwing it over my shoulder and carrying it like a single strap bag. As I mentioned earlier in the videos, it did come with an HDMI cable and the USB to USB or USB to AVI cable. Then we also have the camera case itself. So if you're on the go and you want a small camera case, I actually keep the camera in this case. This case does have a belt loop on the back, or as you see here, you've got an adjustable strap that you can throw on there, little D-rings on the side, and carry it that way. Now the last item that this came with was this little card holder here. This will hold up to 8 SDHC cards. Now this camera also came with a 32 gig 300X SDHC card, but that's what I'm currently recording with. So it'll hold four of these per tray, okay? And there are 2 trays. However, in the second tray on this side, you actually have an insert in here. Oops. So that if you're using micro SD, you can store your micro SD cards into this and keep them safe inside that case. There you have it. Lots of accessories, shipped, and I paid for 2-day shipping. So shipped, I got the camera and all of this for about $210. So now you've seen what it comes with. Let's go ahead and get into the comparison videos. Okay, so now you've gotten a good look at all of the accessories that came with the Coleman camera. Again, I paid a little over $200. I think the list price on it on Amazon was $184.56. I will put a link in the description below They do have a few different they have a few different kit packages for this camera, but they've got different varying levels for the different kits. I wanted the big kit because, like I said, when I was going over the parts, I really wanted a tripod that I could mount, at the very least, mount my chronograph on for when I'm doing load testing. And I, again, might use it for doing some lighting in this room, try and get some better quality of light, because that's going to be the next upgrade, is to get some better lighting in here. But right now we're going to go into a split screen where we're going to have the Coleman on one side and the Logitech on the other. Don't ask me which one's going to be which. I'll label them. You'll see a label pop up for each of them. So throughout some previous testing and playing around with this camera, it did seem that the Coleman produced a better quality video than the Logitech webcam. Now, I think a lot of that has to do with some of the features that come with the Coleman camera. It's very easy to adjust white balance. It's very easy to adjust the exposure value on the camera, and I think those two settings alone help to make give you a better image quality when it comes to your recording. Now, I'm shooting both of these right now in 720p because that's the most that the Logitech webcam is capable of shooting, which is fine. I was thinking about trying to throw in some 1080p video on there. I might actually break my computer if I try to make it render 3 different resolutions all at the same time on the same screen. So we're going to avoid that. If you want to see some 1080p quality, I'll make sure to get some better quality 1080p video out there. But as you can see, you've got the 2 different images here, and let's take a look at the comparisons between them. Now, something I'd like to take note of is that both cameras do have built-in microphones. However, the audio quality on the Coleman just plain sucks. If you watched any of my other vlogs, that was me recording just using the built-in microphone on the camera, and it's hit and miss. Sometimes it's picking up the audio quality great. Sometimes it's just muffled over, you can't hear a thing, or it becomes very low. However, anytime you press a button on the Coleman while it's recording, whether it's to zoom in, zoom out, change your white balance or something, it sounds like a friggin' explosion going on right next to the microphone. It's so loud. If you've watched any of the other vlogs, you'll hear the loud pops whenever I'm, pressing a button, or even kind of handling the camera while it's recording. A lot of that sound transfers through the camera body and to that microphone, and it's ridiculous. That's part of the reason why I started using the Vivitar tripod as a selfie stick, so to speak, because I wanted to make sure that I was putting as little contact onto the camera as possible, but it also allowed me to, have the camera a little further away from myself, and so I'm not all up in your grill like this, and you're wondering, wow, I really don't want that close of an image of this ugly face. So right now, all of the audio quality, rather, that you're going to hear throughout this video is going to be recorded on the SoDial digital recorder. There's a review of that already up on my channel. Link will be in the description below. But yeah, I'm very happy with this camera in general. The LEDs on it, very bright. I did kind of run into a weird wobbliness on one of the vlogs where it was night. I had lights on in half of the room. My computer screen was right there, and I turned on the LEDs on the Coleman to record with her. It was first thing in the morning, I think, and I was getting this weird like wobbliness going on with the screen. Not sure what all that was about. I used it again last night on some video that I was just kind of playing around with shooting, but my battery died, so you won't be seeing that video. Yeah, overall, final thoughts here. I'm very happy with this camera. The camera itself feels fairly sturdy. It doesn't feel like it's a super lightweight camera. You pick up some of the point and shoot digital cameras, and you pick it up, and it just feels like a hollow husk of plastic, and like, oh, if I bump this thing wrong, it's going to break on me. This Coleman camera does feel a little bit more rigid. I wish that there was an audio input on it. That would be nice. I also wish that the microphone did a better job of picking up audio than it does, but for $200 for the kit, which is probably about $125 to $150 for just the camera itself, you can't expect miracles out of it. Let's see, what else is there? One of the other things that I really like about this camera is it's portable. I can start going, well, as the weather starts to break and get nicer, I can start shooting outside. I've got several review videos, gear reviews that I want to do outside on the picnic bench where I've got room to lay things out. I want to do some gun reviews and shooting videos outside, and it's not really feasible with the webcam, even hooking it up to the laptop and taking it out there to shoot. So I'm glad to finally have something a bit more mobile. And it's allowed me to kind of dip my toe into the vlogging scene, and we'll see how well that turns out. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please hit that like button. If you didn't, please hit the dislike button. I'm looking for all input. It'll help me understand what you guys are liking about the channel or disliking about the channel a little bit better. If you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. You'll get an update on whenever I'm putting up a new video. Please tune in for the next random review or vlog or DIY, and we'll see you at the next one.